Question 1. A short passage on photosynthesis describes transfer of pollen to the female reproductive structure. Which answer fits? Option A, villus. Option B, heart. Option C, pollination. Option D, gastrulation. The correct answer is option C, pollination. This choice is best because it moves male gametophytes to a site where fertilization can occur. The other choices point to raises the surface area available for nutrient absorption, maintains blood flow to deliver materials around the body, and sets up basic body tissues and organization, so they do not match the clue. Question 2. If a passage mentions a heterozygote showing an intermediate phenotype, which answer should be selected in photosynthesis? Option A, law of independent assortment. Option B, DNA replication. Option C, incomplete dominance. Option D, gene expression. The correct answer is option C, incomplete dominance. This choice is best because it produces a blended-looking trait in the heterozygote. The other choices point to explains independent inheritance of many traits, duplicates genetic material so daughter cells can receive it, and connects DNA instructions to RNA or protein output, so they do not match the clue. Question 3. Researchers studying cell notice copying DNA before cell division. Which term explains it in photosynthesis? Option A, mitosis. Option B, ribosome. Option C, DNA replication. Option D, active transport. The correct answer is option C, DNA replication. This choice is best because it duplicates genetic material so daughter cells can receive it. The other choices point to maintains chromosome number in somatic cells, is the site where translation builds polypeptides, and requires energy to move materials from low to high concentration, so they do not match the clue. Question 4. An experiment points to a control point that prevents damaged cells from dividing. Which answer is most relevant in photosynthesis? Option A, hypertonic solution. Option B, hypotonic solution. Option C, cell cycle checkpoint. Option D, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The correct answer is option C, cell cycle checkpoint. This choice is best because it helps maintain genome stability before cell division continues. The other choices point to has a higher solute concentration than the cell, causing water loss, has a lower solute concentration than the cell, causing water entry, and synthesizes lipids and helps detoxify chemicals, so they do not match the clue. Question 5. Under a review heading for photosynthesis, which term fits a graph often used to show change over time? Option A, dependent variable. Option B, control group. Option C, line graph. Option D, scientific method. The correct answer is option C, line graph. This choice is best because it displays trends in a continuous variable. The other choices point to is observed to see whether it changes, helps show whether the treatment caused the effect, and uses observations, hypotheses, experiments, and conclusions, so they do not match the clue. Question 6. Would a graph used to compare categories most strongly support which answer in photosynthesis? Option A, bar graph. Option B, hypothesis. Option C, controlled variable. Option D, independent variable. The correct answer is option A, bar graph. This choice is best because it shows differences among discrete groups. The other choices point to makes a prediction that can be supported or rejected by evidence, reduces alternative explanations for the results, and is manipulated to test its effect, so they do not match the clue. Question 7. For a question on photosynthesis, how should a student identify a prokaryotic single-celled organism? Option A, mitosis. Option B, DNA replication. Option C, bacterium. Option D, diffusion. The correct answer is option C, bacterium. This choice is best because it has cellular structure but lacks a nucleus. The other choices point to maintains chromosome number in somatic cells, duplicates genetic material so daughter cells can receive it, and is passive movement down a concentration gradient, so they do not match the clue. Question 8. For a clue about using carbon dioxide to build sugar, which term is most precise in photosynthesis? Option A, Krebs cycle. Option B, auxin. Option C, phloem. Option D, Calvin cycle. The correct answer is option D, Calvin cycle. This choice is best because it fixes carbon into carbohydrates using ADP and NADP. The other choices point to oxidizes acetyl-CoA and loads NADH and FADH2, promotes cell elongation and phototroism, and moves products of photosynthesis to growing or storage tissues, so they do not match the clue. Question 9. Compared with the other choices, which option identifies the tRNA sequence that pairs with an mRNA codon in photosynthesis? Option A, codon. Option B, crossing over. Option C. Anticodon. Option D. Incomplete dominance. The correct answer is option C. Anticodon. This choice is best because it helps place the correct amino acid during translation. The other choices point to links the genetic code to protein sequence, increases genetic variation during meiosis, and produces a blended-looking trait in the heterozygote, so they do not match the clue. Question 10. A photosynthesis passage asks about gene expression changes not caused by DNA sequence changes. Which response is accurate? Option A. PCR. Option B. Epigenetics. Option C. Incomplete dominance. Option D. Nucleic acid. The correct answer is option B. Epigenetics. This choice is best because it can affect whether genes are turned on or off. The other choices point to makes many copies of a DNA region for analysis, produces a blended-looking trait in the heterozygote, and includes DNA and RNA, which carry genetic information, so they do not match the clue. Question 11. One question gives the clue separating DNA fragments by size. Which answer completes a photosynthesis item? Option A. Point mutation. Option B. Gel electrophoresis. Option C. Pedigree. Option D. Meiosis. The correct answer is option B. Gel electrophoresis. This choice is best because it uses an electric field to move DNA through a gel. The other choices point to alters a single DNA base and may affect a gene product, shows how traits pass through generations, and halves chromosome number for sexual reproduction, so they do not match the clue. Question 12. Can you spot the biology term for the chloroplast membrane where light reactions occur in photosynthesis? Option A. Pollination. Option B. Stomata. Option C. Thylakoid membrane. Option D. Light reactions. The correct answer is option C. Thylakoid membrane. This choice is best because it contains photosystems and electron transport components. The other choices point to moves male gametophytes to a site where fertilization can occur, open and close to balance carbon dioxide intake with water conservation, and capture light energy and create energy carriers for sugar production, so they do not match the clue. Question 13. In a practice set on photosynthesis, which option best matches the clue splitting water and producing ADP and NAD? Option A. Guard cells. Option B. Aerobic respiration. Option C. Seed. Option D. Light reactions. The correct answer is option D. Light reactions. This choice is best because it captures light energy and create energy carriers for sugar production. The other choices point to regulate gas exchange and water loss, uses oxygen to make ADP efficiently, and helps plants disperse and survive until germination, so they do not match the clue. Question 14. In a lab-style item about photosynthesis, which choice best explains molecules moving from high concentration to low concentration? Option A. Plasma membrane. Option B. Diffusion. Option C. Phospholipid bilayer. Option D. Endocytosis. The correct answer is option B. Diffusion. This choice is best because it is passive movement down a concentration gradient. The other choices point to acts as a selectively permeable boundary, forms the flexible barrier that separates cell interiors from surroundings, and uses membrane pockets to take material into the cell, so they do not match the clue. Question 15. After observing a plant hormone involved in bending toward light, which concept is most likely in photosynthesis? Option A. Nephron. Option B. Nervous system. Option C. Gamete. Option D. Auxin. The correct answer is option D. Auxin. This choice is best because it promotes cell elongation and phototroism. The other choices point to filters plasma and adjusts water and solute balance, coordinates fast responses through neurons, and carries one set of chromosomes for sexual reproduction, so they do not match the clue. Question 16. Before answering an item about the cell's short-term usable energy currency, which concept should be recognized in photosynthesis? Option A. Krebs cycle. Option B. Light reactions. Option C. ATP. Option D. Hydrolysis. The correct answer is option C. ADP. This choice is best because it stores usable energy in phosphate bonds for cellular work. The other choices point to oxidizes acetyl-CoA and loads NADH and FADH2, capture light energy and create energy carriers for sugar production, and uses water to split larger molecules into smaller units, so they do not match the clue. Question 17. The phrase ADP production that uses oxygen as the final electron acceptor most clearly refers to which biology concept in photosynthesis? Option A. Energy pyramid. Option B. Aerobic respiration. Option C. ATP. Option D. Fermentation. The correct answer is option B. Aerobic respiration. This choice is best because it uses oxygen to make ADP efficiently. The other choices point to shows energy loss as heat between feeding levels, stores usable energy in phosphate bonds for cellular work, and allows glycolysis to continue without oxygen, so they do not match the clue. Question 18. Where does the clue releasing materials from a cell by vesicle fusion lead in photosynthesis? Option A, exocytosis. Option B, nucleus. Option C, ribosome. Option D, gram stain. The correct answer is option A, exocytosis. This choice is best because it moves vesicles to the membrane so their contents leave the cell. The other choices point to houses chromosomes and helps regulate cellular activity, is the site where translation builds polypeptides and helps distinguish major bacterial groups, so they do not match the clue. Question 19. Why would modifying, sorting, and packaging cell products be tested in a photosynthesis question? Option A, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Option B, cytoskeleton. Option C, plasma membrane. Option D, Golgi apparatus. The correct answer is option D, Golgi apparatus. This choice is best because it packages molecules for transport inside or outside the cell. The other choices point to synthesizes lipids and helps detoxify chemicals, uses protein fibers for support, movement, and organization, and acts as a selectively permeable boundary, so they do not match the clue. Question 20. During review of photosynthesis, which term names allele pairs separating during gamete formation? Option A, transcription. Option B, translation. Option C, incomplete dominance. Option D, law of segregation. The correct answer is option D, law of segregation. This choice is best because it explains why each gamete receives only one allele for a gene. The other choices point to copies genetic information into RNA, uses ribosomes and tRNA to assemble amino acids, and produces a blended-looking trait in the heterozygote, so they do not match the clue. Question 21. Based on the description using electron energy to drive ADP production, which choice makes sense for photosynthesis? Option A, electron transport chain. Option B, mitochondrion. Option C, glycolysis. Option D, ADP synthase. The correct answer is option A, electron transport chain. This choice is best because it creates a proton gradient that powers ADP synthase. The other choices point to carries out reactions that generate much of the cell's ADP, begins cellular respiration and produces a small amount of ADP, and uses chemiosmosis to phosphorylate ADP, so they do not match the clue. Question 22. Students reviewing photosynthesis see cells that open and close stomata. Which answer is best? Option A, guard cells. Option B, gamete. Option C, thylakoid membrane. Option D, stroma. The correct answer is option A, guard cells. This choice is best because it regulates gas exchange and water loss. The other choices point to carries one set of chromosomes for sexual reproduction, contains photosystems and electron transport components, and contains enzymes used for carbon fixation, so they do not match the clue. Question 23. Suppose a CLEP biology item describes cell division that produces haploid gametes. Which choice fits photosynthesis? Option A, law of independent assortment. Option B, meiosis. Option C, gamete. Option D, gel electrophoresis. The correct answer is option B, meiosis. This choice is best because it has chromosome number for sexual reproduction. The other choices point to explains independent inheritance of many traits, carries one set of chromosomes for sexual reproduction, and uses an electric field to move DNA through a gel, so they do not match the clue. Question 24. Could a test writer use the measured response in an experiment to ask about which concept in photosynthesis? Option A, control group. Option B, dependent variable. Option C, hypothesis. Option D, sample size. The correct answer is option B, dependent variable. This choice is best because it is observed to see whether it changes. The other choices point to help show whether the treatment caused the effect, makes a prediction that can be supported or rejected by evidence, and affects reliability and confidence in results, so they do not match the clue. Question 25. Is the best match for using genetic information to produce a functional product found in which choice for photosynthesis? Option A, gene expression. Option B, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Option C, sex-linked inheritance. Option D, nucleus. The correct answer is option A, gene expression. This choice is best because it connects DNA instructions to RNA or protein output. The other choices point to models a non-evolving population under specific conditions, often shows distinctive patterns because males have one X chromosome, and houses chromosomes and helps regulate cellular activity, so they do not match the clue. Question 26. A short passage on photosynthesis describes making lipids and detoxifying substances. Which answer fits? Option A, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Option B, cell cycle checkpoint. Option C, Golgi apparatus. Option D, endocytosis. The correct answer is option A, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. This choice is best because it synthesizes lipids and helps detoxify chemicals. The other choices point to helps maintain genome stability before cell division continues, packages molecules for transport inside or outside the cell, and uses membrane pockets to take material into the cell, so they do not match the clue. Question 27. If a passage mentions moving substances against a concentration gradient, which answer should be selected in photosynthesis? Option A, lysosome. Option B, binary fission. Option C, active transport. Option D, stem cell. The correct answer is option C, active transport. This choice is best because it requires energy to move materials from low to high concentration. The other choices point to contains enzymes that break down cellular materials, is the common asexual reproduction method in bacteria, and can develop into specialized cell types, so they do not match the clue. Question 28. Researchers studying genetics notice the allele combination an organism carries. Which term explains it in photosynthesis? Option A, genotype. Option B, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Option C, pedigree. Option D, gene expression. The correct answer is option A, genotype. This choice is best because it describes genetic makeup for a trait. The other choices point to models a non-evolving population under specific conditions, shows how traits pass through generations, and connects DNA instructions to RNA or protein output, so they do not match the clue. Question 29. An experiment points to the number of observations or organisms measured. Which answer is most relevant in photosynthesis? Option A, control group. Option B, independent variable. Option C, sample size. Option D, bar graph. The correct answer is option C, sample size. This choice is best because it affects reliability and confidence in results. The other choices point to help show whether the treatment caused the effect, is manipulated to test its effect, and shows differences among discrete groups, so they do not match the clue. Question 30. Under a review heading for photosynthesis, which term fits regenerating NAD+ when oxygen is absent? Option A, energy pyramid. Option B, active transport. Option C, fermentation. Option D, Krebs cycle. The correct answer is option C, fermentation. This choice is best because it allows glycolysis to continue without oxygen. The other choices point to shows energy loss as heat between feeding levels, requires energy to move materials from low to high concentration, and oxidizes acetyl-CoA and loads NADH and FADH2, so they do not match the clue. Question 31. Would pores that control gas exchange and water loss most strongly support which answer in photosynthesis? Option A, gamete. Option B, stomata. Option C, digestive enzyme. Option D, flower. The correct answer is option B, stomata. This choice is best because it open and close to balance carbon dioxide intake with water conservation. The other choices point to carries one set of chromosomes for sexual reproduction, catalyzes digestion of macromolecules, and contains structures that produce gametes and support fertilization, so they do not match the clue. Question 32. For a question on photosynthesis, how should a student identify a cell with a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles? Option A, stroma. Option B, eukaryotic cell. Option C, apoptosis. Option D, cancer. The correct answer is option B, eukaryotic cell. This choice is best because it contains a nucleus and complex internal compartments. The other choices point to contains enzymes used for carbon fixation, removes damaged or unneeded cells in an orderly way, and results from failures in normal cell cycle regulation, so they do not match the clue. Question 33. For a clue about a testable explanation, which term is most precise in photosynthesis? Option A, microscope magnification. Option B, hypothesis. Option C, correlation. Option D, independent variable. The correct answer is option B, hypothesis. This choice is best because it makes a prediction that can be supported or rejected by evidence. The other choices point to gives total magnification for viewing a specimen, does not by itself prove that one variable causes the other, and is manipulated to test its effect, so they do not match the clue. Question 34. Compared with the other choices, which option identifies genes on different chromosomes associating separately in photosynthesis? Option A, operon. Option B, anticodon. Option C, restriction enzyme. Option D, law of independent assortment. The correct answer is option D, law of independent assortment. This choice is best because it explains independent inheritance of many traits. The other choices point to lets prokaryotes regulate groups of genes together, helps place the correct amino acid during translation, and acts like molecular scissors in DNA technology, so they do not match the clue. Question 35. A photosynthesis passage asks about carbon dioxide release and electron carrier production. Which response is accurate? Option A, Calvin cycle. Option B, Krebs cycle. Option C, ADP synthase. Option D, fermentation. The correct answer is option B, Krebs cycle. This choice is best because it oxidizes acetyl-CoA and loads NADH and FADH2. The other choices point to fixes carbon into carbohydrates using ADP and NADH, uses chemiosmosis to phosphorylate ADP, and allows glycolysis to continue without oxygen, so they do not match the clue. Question 36. One question gives the clue making ADP from a proton gradient. Which answer completes a photosynthesis item? Option A, ATP. Option B, energy pyramid. Option C, Calvin cycle. Option D, ADP synthase. The correct answer is option D, ADP synthase. This choice is best because it uses chemiosmosis to phosphorylate ADP. The other choices point to stores usable energy in phosphate bonds for cellular work, shows energy loss as heat between feeding levels, and fixes carbon into carbohydrates using ADP and NADH, so they do not match the clue. Question 37. Can you spot the biology term for a plant embryo with stored food and a protective coat in photosynthesis? Option A, phloem. Option B, reflex arc. Option C, chlorophyll. Option D, seed. The correct answer is option D, seed. This choice is best because it helps plants disperse and survive until germination. The other choices point to moves products of photosynthesis to growing or storage tissues, allows quick reactions without conscious processing first, and captures light energy mainly in the blue and red wavelengths, so they do not match the clue. Question 38. In a practice set on photosynthesis, which option best matches the clue the pigment that absorbs light for photosynthesis? Option A, flower. Option B, chlorophyll. Option C, chloroplast. Option D, Calvin cycle. The correct answer is option B, chlorophyll. This choice is best because it captures light energy mainly in the blue and red wavelengths. The other choices point to contain structures that produce gametes and support fertilization, contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis in plants and algae, and fixes carbon into carbohydrates using ADP and NADH, so they do not match the clue. Question 39. In a lab-style item about photosynthesis, which choice best explains selective control of what enters and leaves the cell? Option A, nucleus. Option B, DNA replication. Option C, plasma membrane. Option D, mitochondrion. The correct answer is option C, plasma membrane. This choice is best because it acts as a selectively permeable boundary. The other choices point to houses chromosomes and helps regulate cellular activity, duplicates genetic material so daughter cells can receive it, and carries out reactions that generate much of the cell's ATP, so they do not match the clue. Question 40. After observing a 3-base mRNA sequence that specifies an amino acid, which concept is most likely in photosynthesis? Option A, codon. Option B, transgenic organism. Option C, meiosis. Option D, crossing over. The correct answer is option A, codon. This choice is best because it links the genetic code to protein sequence. The other choices point to contains introduced DNA that can change its traits, halves chromosome number for sexual reproduction, and increases genetic variation during meiosis, so they do not match the clue. Question 41. Before answering an item about transporting sugars through a plant, which concept should be recognized in photosynthesis? Option A, endotherm. Option B, xylem. Option C, phloem. Option D, nephron. The correct answer is option C, phloem. This choice is best because it moves products of photosynthesis to growing or storage tissues. The other choices point to uses internal metabolism to regulate temperature, moves water from roots toward leaves, and filters plasma and adjusts water and solute balance, so they do not match the clue. Question 42. The phrase passive transport through membrane proteins most clearly refers to which biology concept in photosynthesis? Option A, facilitated diffusion. Option B, lipid. Option C, prokaryotic cell. Option D, hypertonic solution. The correct answer is option A, facilitated diffusion. This choice is best because it moves substances down a gradient using channels or carriers. The other choices point to includes fats, oils, steroids, and membrane phospholipids, has DNA but lacks a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles, and has a higher solute concentration than the cell, causing water loss, so they do not match the clue. Question 43. Where does the clue storing and transmitting hereditary information lead in photosynthesis? Option A, independent assortment. Option B, nucleic acid. Option C, gene expression. Option D, coenzyme. The correct answer is option B, nucleic acid. This choice is best because it includes DNA and RNA, which carry genetic information. The other choices point to creates different chromosome combinations in gametes, connects DNA instructions to RNA or protein output, and assists enzymes in carrying out reactions, so they do not match the clue. Question 44. Why would a trait controlled by a gene on a sex chromosome be tested in a photosynthesis question? Option A, translation. Option B, point mutation. Option C, sex-linked inheritance. Option D, crossing over. The correct answer is option C, sex-linked inheritance. This choice is best because it often shows distinctive patterns because males have one X chromosome. The other choices point to uses ribosomes and tRNA to assemble amino acids, alters a single DNA base and may affect a gene product, and increases genetic variation during meiosis, so they do not match the clue. Question 45. During review of photosynthesis, which term names building a protein from an mRNA message? Option A, genotype. Option B, denaturation. Option C, PCR. Option D, translation. The correct answer is option D, translation. This choice is best because it uses ribosomes and tRNA to assemble amino acids. The other choices point to describes genetic makeup for a trait, disrupts the structure needed for protein function, and makes many copies of a DNA region for analysis, so they do not match the clue. Question 46. Based on the description bringing large materials into a cell in vesicles, which choice makes sense for photosynthesis? Option A, hypotonic solution. Option B, endocytosis. Option C, cell differentiation. Option D, Gram stain. The correct answer is option B, endocytosis. This choice is best because it uses membrane pockets to take material into the cell. The other choices point to has a lower solute concentration than the cell, causing water entry, allows multicellular organisms to form different tissues, and helps distinguish major bacterial groups, so they do not match the clue. Question 47. Students reviewing photosynthesis see a test that separates bacteria by cell wall properties. Which answer is best? Option A, Gram stain. Option B, stem cell. Option C, Golgi apparatus. Option D, cell cycle checkpoint. The correct answer is option A, Gram stain. This choice is best because it helps distinguish major bacterial groups. The other choices point to can develop into specialized cell types, packages molecules for transport inside or outside the cell, and helps maintain genome stability before cell division continues, so they do not match the clue. Question 48. Suppose a CLEP biology item describes an organism carrying a gene from another species. Which choice fits photosynthesis? Option A, pedigree. Option B, transgenic organism. Option C, frameshift mutation. Option D, translation. The correct answer is option B, transgenic organism. This choice is best because it contains introduced DNA that can change its traits. The other choices point to shows how traits pass through generations, can change many downstream amino acids, and uses ribosomes and tRNA to assemble amino acids, so they do not match the clue. Question 49. Could a test writer use exchange of DNA between homologous chromosomes to ask about which concept in photosynthesis? Option A, founder effect. Option B, genotype. Option C, crossing over. Option D, restriction enzyme. The correct answer is option C, crossing over. This choice is best because it increases genetic variation during meiosis. The other choices point to can make a new population genetically different by chance, describes genetic makeup for a trait, and acts like molecular scissors in DNA technology, so they do not match the clue. Question 50. Is the best match for a plant hormone that promotes stem elongation and seed germination found in which choice for photosynthesis? Option A, positive feedback. Option B, auxin. Option C, gibberellin. Option D, T-cell. The correct answer is option C, gibberellin. This choice is best because it stimulates growth and germination in many plants. The other choices point to pushes a process further until a specific endpoint occurs, promotes cell elongation and phototroism, and can kill infected cells or coordinate immune responses, so they do not match the clue. Question 51. A short passage on photosynthesis describes a cell gaining water and swelling. Which answer fits? Option A, cell cycle checkpoint. Option B, bacterium. Option C, osmosis. Option D, hypotonic solution. The correct answer is option D, hypotonic solution. This choice is best because it has a lower solute concentration than the cell, causing water entry. The other choices point to helps maintain genome stability before cell division continues, has cellular structure but lacks a nucleus, and is the diffusion of water across a membrane, so they do not match the clue. Question 52. If a passage mentions an organism that makes organic food from inorganic sources, which answer should be selected in photosynthesis? Option A, thylakoid membrane. Option B, imprinting. Option C, producer. Option D, predation. The correct answer is option C, producer. This choice is best because it forms the energy base of many ecosystems. The other choices point to contains photosystems and electron transport components, can shape animal behavior early in life, and links predator and prey population dynamics, so they do not match the clue. Question 53. Researchers studying methods notice testing explanations with evidence. Which term explains it in photosynthesis? Option A, dependent variable. Option B, data table. Option C, sample size. Option D, scientific method. The correct answer is option D, scientific method. This choice is best because it uses observations, hypotheses, experiments, and conclusions. The other choices point to is observed to see whether it changes, helps compare variables and identify patterns, and affects reliability and confidence in results, so they do not match the clue. Question 54. An experiment points to the factor intentionally changed in an experiment. Which answer is most relevant in photosynthesis? Option A, controlled variable. Option B, independent variable. Option C, dependent variable. Option D, data table. The correct answer is option B, independent variable. This choice is best because it is manipulated to test its effect. The other choices point to reduces alternative explanations for the results, is observed to see whether it changes, and helps compare variables and identify patterns, so they do not match the clue. Question 55. Under a review heading for photosynthesis, which term fits capturing light energy to make sugars? Option A, chloroplast. Option B, diffusion. Option C, chlorophyll. Option D, nucleus. The correct answer is option A, chloroplast. This choice is best because it contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis in plants and algae. The other choices point to is passive movement down a concentration gradient, captures light energy mainly in the blue and red wavelengths, and houses chromosomes and helps regulate cellular activity, so they do not match the clue. Question 56. Would decreasing available energy at higher trophic levels most strongly support which answer in photosynthesis? Option A, ecosystem. Option B, energy pyramid. Option C, community. Option D, aerobic respiration. The correct answer is option B, energy pyramid. This choice is best because it shows energy loss as heat between feeding levels. The other choices point to includes living organisms and abiotic factors, includes multiple species living together, and uses oxygen to make ADP efficiently, so they do not match the clue. Question 57. For a question on photosynthesis, how should a student identify a cell losing water and shrinking? Option A, hypertonic solution. Option B, DNA replication. Option C, cell cycle checkpoint. Option D, prokaryotic cell. The correct answer is option A, hypertonic solution. This choice is best because it has a higher solute concentration than the cell, causing water loss. The other choices point to duplicates genetic material so daughter cells can receive it, helps maintain genome stability before cell division continues, and has DNA but lacks a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles, so they do not match the clue. Question 58. For a clue about both alleles being fully expressed, which term is most precise in photosynthesis? Option A, point mutation. Option B, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Option C, meiosis. Option D, codominance. The correct answer is option D, codominance. This choice is best because it allows both traits to appear in the heterozygote. The other choices point to alters a single DNA base and may affect a gene product, models a non-evolving population under specific conditions, and has chromosome number for sexual reproduction, so they do not match the clue. Question 59. Compared with the other choices, which option identifies the reproductive structure of angiosperms in photosynthesis? Option A, alveolus. Option B, antidiuretic hormone. Option C, heart. Option D, flower. The correct answer is option D, flower. This choice is best because it contains structures that produce gametes and support fertilization. The other choices point to provides a large surface for oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange, helps conserve water when the body is dehydrated, and maintains blood flow to deliver materials around the body, so they do not match the clue. Question 60. A photosynthesis passage asks about stable allele frequencies when evolution is not occurring. Which response is accurate? Option A, founder effect. Option B, speciation. Option C, R-selected species. Option D, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. The correct answer is option D, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. This choice is best because it models a non-evolving population under specific conditions. The other choices point to can make a new population genetically different by chance, occurs when populations become reproductively isolated, and often thrive in unstable environments, so they do not match the clue. Question 61. One question gives the clue the observable expression of a trait. Which answer completes a photosynthesis item? Option A, independent assortment. Option B, phenotype. Option C, law of segregation. Option D, gel electrophoresis. The correct answer is option B, phenotype. This choice is best because it describes what can be seen or measured. The other choices point to creates different chromosome combinations in gametes, explains why each gamete receives only one allele for a gene, and uses an electric field to move DNA through a gel, so they do not match the clue. Question 62. Can you spot the biology term for most ATP production during aerobic respiration in photosynthesis? Option A, mitochondrion. Option B, binary fission. Option C, Krebs cycle. Option D, exocytosis. The correct answer is option A, mitochondrion. This choice is best because it carries out reactions that generate much of the cell's ATP. The other choices point to is the common asexual reproduction method in bacteria, oxidizes acetyl-CoA and loads NADH and FADH2, and moves vesicles to the membrane so their contents leave the cell, so they do not match the clue. Question 63. In a practice set on photosynthesis, which option best matches the clue bacterial cell division into two similar cells? Option A, hypotonic solution. Option B, Gram stain. Option C, binary fission. Option D, Golgi apparatus. The correct answer is option C, binary fission. This choice is best because it is the common asexual reproduction method in bacteria. The other choices point to has a lower solute concentration than the cell, causing water entry, helps distinguish major bacterial groups, and packages molecules for transport inside or outside the cell, so they do not match the clue. Question 64. In a lab-style item about photosynthesis, which choice best explains storing DNA and controlling gene expression? Option A, recombinant DNA. Option B, point mutation. Option C, endocytosis. Option D, nucleus. The correct answer is option D, nucleus. This choice is best because it houses chromosomes and helps regulate cellular activity. The other choices point to allows genes from one organism to be inserted into another, alters a single DNA base and may affect a gene product, and uses membrane pockets to take material into the cell, so they do not match the clue. Question 65. After observing cell shape, internal movement, and chromosome separation, which concept is most likely in photosynthesis? Option A, endocytosis. Option B, lysosome. Option C, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Option D, cytoskeleton. The correct answer is option D, cytoskeleton. This choice is best because it uses protein fibers for support, movement, and organization. The other choices point to uses membrane pockets to take material into the cell, contains enzymes that break down cellular materials, and is studded with ribosomes and helps process newly made proteins, so they do not match the clue. Question 66. Before answering an item about digesting worn-out organelles and macromolecules, which concept should be recognized in photosynthesis? Option A, lysosome. Option B, hypertonic solution. Option C, facilitated diffusion. Option D, Golgi apparatus. The correct answer is option A, lysosome. This choice is best because it contains enzymes that break down cellular materials. The other choices point to has a higher solute concentration than the cell, causing water loss, moves substances down a gradient using channels or carriers, and packages molecules for transport inside or outside the cell, so they do not match the clue. Question 67. The phrase water evaporating from leaves and pulling water upward most clearly refers to which biology concept in photosynthesis? Option A, oxen. Option B, diffusion in lungs. Option C, transpiration. Option D, diaphragm. The correct answer is option C, transpiration. This choice is best because it helps move water through xylem. The other choices point to promotes cell elongation and phototroism, moves gases down their concentration gradients, and changes chest cavity volume during breathing, so they do not match the clue. Question 68. Where does the CLEP program cell death lead in photosynthesis? Option A, apoptosis. Option B, microscope magnification. Option C, cell differentiation. Option D, hypotonic solution. The correct answer is option A, apoptosis. This choice is best because it removes damaged or unneeded cells in an orderly way. The other choices point to gives total magnification for viewing a specimen, allows multicellular organisms to form different tissues, and has a lower solute concentration than the cell, causing water entry, so they do not match the clue. Question 69. Why would random separation of homologous chromosome pairs be tested in a photosynthesis question? Option A, gene expression. Option B, crossing over. Option C, DNA replication. Option D, independent assortment. The correct answer is option D, independent assortment. This choice is best because it creates different chromosome combinations in gametes. The other choices point to connects DNA instructions to RNA or protein output, increases genetic variation during meiosis, and duplicates genetic material so daughter cells can receive it, so they do not match the clue. Question 70. During review of photosynthesis, which term names the chloroplast fluid where the Calvin cycle occurs? Option A, xylem. Option B, stroma. Option C, cell wall. Option D, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The correct answer is option B, stroma. This choice is best because it contains enzymes used for carbon fixation. The other choices point to moves water from roots toward leaves, provides structural support and protection in plants, fungi, and many bacteria, and synthesizes lipids and helps detoxify chemicals, so they do not match the clue. Question 71. Based on the description a factor kept constant during an experiment, which choice makes sense for photosynthesis? Option A, controlled variable. Option B, sample size. Option C, independent variable. Option D, scientific method. The correct answer is option A, controlled variable. This choice is best because it reduces alternative explanations for the results. The other choices point to affects reliability and competence in results, is manipulated to test its effect, and uses observations, hypotheses, experiments, and conclusions, so they do not match the clue. Question 72. Students reviewing photosynthesis see a change in one nucleotide base. Which answer is best? Option A, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Option B, law of segregation. Option C, point mutation. Option D, codon. The correct answer is option C, point mutation. This choice is best because it alters a single DNA base and may affect a gene product. The other choices point to models a non-evolving population under specific conditions, explains why each gamete receives only one allele for a gene, and links the genetic code to protein sequence, so they do not match the clue. Question 73. Suppose a CLEP-style biology item describes nuclear division that produces genetically identical body cells. Which choice fits photosynthesis? Option A, binary fission. Option B, mitosis. Option C, plasma membrane. Option D, ribosome. The correct answer is option B, mitosis. This choice is best because it maintains chromosome number in somatic cells. The other choices point to is the common asexual reproduction method in bacteria, acts as a selectively permeable boundary, and is the site where translation builds polypeptides, so they do not match the clue. Question 74. Could a test writer use processing proteins headed for secretion or membranes to ask about which concept in photosynthesis? Option A, eukaryotic cell. Option B, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Option C, hypotonic solution. Option D, nucleus. The correct answer is option B, rough endoplasmic reticulum. This choice is best because it is studded with ribosomes and helps process newly made proteins. The other choices point to contains a nucleus and complex internal compartments, has a lower solute concentration than the cell, causing water entry, and houses chromosomes and helps regulate cellular activity, so they do not match the clue. Question 75. Is the best match for a bacterial gene control unit with related genes found in which choice for photosynthesis? Option A, operon. Option B, genotype. Option C, cell wall. Option D, codon. The correct answer is option A, operon. This choice is best because it lets prokaryotes regulate groups of genes together. The other choices point to describes genetic makeup for a trait, provides structural support and protection in plants, fungi, and many bacteria, and links the genetic code to protein sequence, so they do not match the clue. Question 76. A short passage on photosynthesis describes organized rows and columns of observations. Which answer fits? Option A, line graph. Option B, correlation. Option C, controlled variable. Option D, data table. The correct answer is option D, data table. This choice is best because it helps compare variables and identify patterns. The other choices point to displays trends in a continuous variable, does not by itself prove that one variable causes the other, and reduces alternative explanations for the results, so they do not match the clue. Question 77. If a passage mentions rigid support outside the plasma membrane, which answer should be selected in photosynthesis? Option A, domain. Option B, cell wall. Option C, cell differentiation. Option D, facilitated diffusion. The correct answer is option B, cell wall. This choice is best because it provides structural support and protection in plants, fungi, and many bacteria. The other choices point to places organisms into the largest classification groups, allows multicellular organisms to form different tissues, and moves substances down a gradient using channels or carriers, so they do not match the clue. Question 78. Researchers studying plant notice transporting water and minerals upward in plants. Which term explains it in photosynthesis? Option A, xylem. Option B, gastrulation. Option C, neurotransmitter. Option D, negative feedback. The correct answer is option A, xylem. This choice is best because it moves water from roots toward leaves. The other choices point to sets up basic body tissues and organization, carries signals from one neuron to another cell, and stabilizes body conditions by opposing change, so they do not match the clue. Question 79. An experiment points to amplifying a selected DNA segment. Which answer is most relevant in photosynthesis? Option A, independent assortment. Option B, anticodon. Option C, codon. Option D, PCR. The correct answer is option D, PCR. This choice is best because it makes many copies of a DNA region for analysis. The other choices point to creates different chromosome combinations in gametes, helps place the correct amino acid during translation, and links the genetic code to protein sequence, so they do not match the clue. Question 80. Under a review heading for photosynthesis, which term fits a cell without a nucleus or membrane-bound organelles? Option A, microscope magnification. Option B, domain. Option C, prokaryotic cell. Option D, apoptosis. The correct answer is option C, prokaryotic cell. This choice is best because it has DNA but lacks a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. The other choices point to gives total magnification for viewing a specimen, places organisms into the largest classification groups, and removes damaged or unneeded cells in an orderly way, so they do not match the clue. Question 81. Would making RNA from a DNA template most strongly support which answer in photosynthesis? Option A, transcription. Option B, translation. Option C, phenotype. Option D, gene expression. The correct answer is option A, transcription. This choice is best because it copies genetic information into RNA. The other choices point to uses ribosomes and tRNA to assemble amino acids, describes what can be seen or measured, and connects DNA instructions to RNA or protein output, so they do not match the clue. Question 82. For a question on photosynthesis, how should a student identify uncontrolled cell division? Option A, mitochondrion. Option B, binary fission. Option C, eukaryotic cell. Option D, cancer. The correct answer is option D, cancer. This choice is best because it results from failures in normal cell cycle regulation. The other choices point to carries out reactions that generate much of the cell's ATP, is the common asexual reproduction method in bacteria, and contains a nucleus and complex internal compartments, so they do not match the clue. Question 83. For a clue about two variables changing together, which term is most precise in photosynthesis? Option A, bar graph. Option B, controlled variable. Option C, correlation. Option D, line graph. The correct answer is option C, correlation. This choice is best because it does not by itself prove that one variable causes the other. The other choices point to shows differences among discrete groups, reduces alternative explanations for the results, and displays trends in a continuous variable, so they do not match the clue. Question 84. Compared with the other choices, which option identifies cells becoming specialized for specific functions in photosynthesis? Option A, bacterium. Option B, prokaryotic cell. Option C, Golgi apparatus. Option D, cell differentiation. The correct answer is option D, cell differentiation. This choice is best because it allows multicellular organisms to form different tissues. The other choices point to has cellular structure but lacks a nucleus, has DNA but lacks a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles, and packages molecules for transport inside or outside the cell, so they do not match the clue. Question 85. A photosynthesis passage asks about eyepiece magnification multiplied by objective magnification. Which response is accurate? Option A, hypertonic solution. Option B, binary fission. Option C, microscope magnification. Option D, data table. The correct answer is option C, microscope magnification. This choice is best because it gives total magnification for viewing a specimen. The other choices point to has a higher solute concentration than the cell, causing water loss, is the common asexual reproduction method in bacteria, and helps compare variables and identify patterns, so they do not match the clue. Question 86. One question gives the clue the basic two-layer structure of cell membranes. Which answer completes a photosynthesis item? Option A, cell wall. Option B, phospholipid bilayer. Option C, action potential. Option D, hypotonic solution. The correct answer is option B, phospholipid bilayer. This choice is best because it forms the flexible barrier that separates cell interiors from surroundings. The other choices point to provide structural support and protection in plants, fungi, and many bacteria, propagates nerve signals along axons, and has a lower solute concentration than the cell, causing water entry, so they do not match the clue. Question 87. Can you spot the biology term for water moving across a selectively permeable membrane in photosynthesis? Option A, osmosis. Option B, action potential. Option C, endocytosis. Option D, binary fission. The correct answer is option A, osmosis. This choice is best because it is the diffusion of water across a membrane. The other choices point to propagates nerve signals along axons, uses membrane pockets to take material into the cell, and is the common asexual reproduction method in bacteria, so they do not match the clue. Question 88. In a practice set on photosynthesis, which option best matches the clue DNA made by combining genetic material from different sources? Option A, recombinant DNA. Option B, codominance. Option C, sex-linked inheritance. Option D, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. The correct answer is option A, recombinant DNA. This choice is best because it allows genes from one organism to be inserted into another. The other choices point to allows both traits to appear in the heterozygote, often shows distinctive patterns because males have one X chromosome, and models a non-evolving population under specific conditions, so they do not match the clue. Question 89. In a lab-style item about photosynthesis, which choice best explains the comparison group not receiving the tested treatment? Option A, line graph. Option B, control group. Option C, independent variable. Option D, data table. The correct answer is option B, control group. This choice is best because it helps show whether the treatment caused the effect. The other choices point to displays trends in a continuous variable, is manipulated to test its effect, and helps compare variables and identify patterns, so they do not match the clue. Question 90. After observing an insertion or deletion that shifts the reading frame, which concept is most likely in photosynthesis? Option A, gene expression. Option B, nucleus. Option C, recombinant DNA. Option D, frame shift mutation. The correct answer is option D, frame shift mutation. This choice is best because it can change many downstream amino acids. The other choices point to connects DNA instructions to RNA or protein output, houses chromosomes and helps regulate cellular activity, and allows genes from one organism to be inserted into another, so they do not match the clue. Question 91. Before answering an item about an unspecialized cell that can differentiate, which concept should be recognized in photosynthesis? Option A, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Option B, embryonic cleavage. Option C, stem cell. Option D, endocytosis. The correct answer is option C, stem cell. This choice is best because it can develop into specialized cell types. The other choices point to synthesizes lipids and helps detoxify chemicals, increases cell number soon after fertilization, and uses membrane pockets to take material into the cell, so they do not match the clue. Question 92. The phrase splitting glucose into pyruvate in the cytoplasm most clearly refers to which biology concept in photosynthesis? Option A, glycolysis. Option B, ATP. Option C, electron transport chain. Option D, energy pyramid. The correct answer is option A, glycolysis. This choice is best because it begins cellular respiration and produces a small amount of ADP. The other choices point to stores usable energy in phosphate bonds for cellular work, creates a proton gradient that powers ADP synthase, and shows energy loss as heat between feeding levels, so they do not match the clue. Question 93. Where does the clue cutting DNA at specific sequences lead in photosynthesis? Option A, independent assortment. Option B, nucleic acid. Option C, restriction enzyme. Option D, transcription. The correct answer is option C, restriction enzyme. This choice is best because it acts like molecular scissors in DNA technology. The other choices point to creates different chromosome combinations in gametes, includes DNA and RNA, which carry genetic information, and copies genetic information into RNA, so they do not match the clue. Question 94. Why would assembling amino acids into proteins be tested in a photosynthesis question? Option A, codon. Option B, chloroplast. Option C, ribosome. Option D, rough endoplasmic reticulum. The correct answer is option C, ribosome. This choice is best because it is the site where translation builds polypeptides. The other choices point to links the genetic code to protein sequence, contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis in plants and algae, and is studded with ribosomes and helps process newly made proteins, so they do not match the clue. Question 95. During review of photosynthesis, which term names a family diagram used to track inheritance? Option A, codominance. Option B, crossing over. Option C, anticodon. Option D, pedigree. The correct answer is option D, pedigree. This choice is best because it shows how traits pass through generations. The other choices point to allows both traits to appear in the heterozygote, increases genetic variation during meiosis, and helps place the correct amino acid during translation, so they do not match the clue. Question 96. Based on the description a heterozygote showing an intermediate phenotype, which choice makes sense for photosynthesis? Option A, incomplete dominance. Option B, frameshift mutation. Option C, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Option D, transgenic organism. The correct answer is option A, incomplete dominance. This choice is best because it produces a blended-looking trait in the heterozygote. The other choices point to can change many downstream amino acids, models a non-evolving population under specific conditions, and contains introduced DNA that can change its traits, so they do not match the clue. Question 97. Students reviewing photosynthesis see copying DNA before cell division. Which answer is best? Option A, law of segregation. Option B, eukaryotic cell. Option C, hypotonic solution. Option D, DNA replication. The correct answer is option D, DNA replication. This choice is best because it duplicates genetic material so daughter cells can receive it. The other choices point to explains why each gamete receives only one allele for a gene, contains a nucleus and complex internal compartments, and has a lower solute concentration than the cell, causing water entry, so they do not match the clue. Question 98. Suppose a CLEP-style biology item describes a control point that prevents damaged cells from dividing. Which choice fits photosynthesis? Option A, lysosome. Option B, cell cycle checkpoint. Option C, phospholipid bilayer. Option D, cell wall. The correct answer is option B, cell cycle checkpoint. This choice is best because it helps maintain genome stability before cell division continues. The other choices point to contains enzymes that break down cellular materials, forms the flexible barrier that separates cell interiors from surroundings, and provides structural support and protection in plants, fungi, and many bacteria, so they do not match the clue. Question 99. Could a test writer use a graph often used to show change over time to ask about which concept in photosynthesis? Option A, scientific method. Option B, correlation. Option C, sample size. Option D, line graph. The correct answer is option D, line graph. This choice is best because it displays trends in a continuous variable. The other choices point to uses observations, hypotheses, experiments, and conclusions, does not by itself prove that one variable causes the other, and affects reliability and confidence in results, so they do not match the clue. Question 100. Is the best match for a graph used to compare categories found in which choice for photosynthesis? Option A, sample size. Option B, data table. Option C, bar graph. Option D, controlled variable. The correct answer is option C, bar graph. This choice is best because it shows differences among discrete groups. The other choices point to affects reliability and confidence in results, helps compare variables and identify patterns, and reduces alternative explanations for the results, so they do not match the clue.